Good morning, good morning, good morning. My name is Sean Dex and I welcome you back to the Mango Grow for your daily Bitcoin USD analysis video. It's a brand new week, so I'm wishing you a happy goddamn Monday and Bitcoin here starting a new week as well. And things are beginning to get tight. Bitcoin getting ready for that big move. Everybody is talking about it, but which direction, up or down? In this video, I'll be presenting both sides of the story, but in full disclosure, guys, I have to admit, I am now beginning to lean more towards the bear side. In fact, I did take a short position earlier this morning, and in this video, I'm going to be telling you exactly why. So let's get started. Okay, so we are going to start with the bull side of the scenario, but for full disclosure, I am not long any positions at all. I was long on a few altcoins throughout the entirety of last week. I closed those. I took profits on those throughout this weekend. I was long Link, I was long EOS, I was long TRX, and LTC, right? And I have now only short positions on Bitcoin and Ethereum. But again, it is important to go over the bull side of the equation too. There's always two sides of the story. And as you guys know, I've been long ever since 3,800. I rode this all the way to the top. In fact, just this morning, I finally closed out my September contracts that I was long ever since 4,900ish. Rode it all the way throughout this. But there's a time and place to be like, okay, you have the clear signs, and it's now time to start looking for a trade to the other side. The question is it too early to be doing that? We'll be talking about that in today's video, right? We're going to start with the bull side of the scenario. Like I said, we're going to turn on our horizontals that we've been going over for the entirety of this consolidation, right? A few months now. Now, there are multiple ways to draw this. There's no right way to draw this. And I know this chart is getting messy, but that's just how it does end up being in a consolidation move like this. Okay, so we have our upper trend line over here, the dotted trend line marking out our candle closes. Yes, it's not perfect. It doesn't need to be. And then we have a dotted trend line over here too, right? Marking out the candle closes, as well as this wick over here that we had like 4 days ago. Throughout this entire consolidation. So now you can look at this as a descending triangle, you can look at this as a symmetrical triangle, you can look at this as a falling wedge, depending on what time frame you're looking at. But the bull case over here is, hey, this is a falling wedge or this is a symmetrical triangle, and we do have a falling wedge within this formation too, right? As you can see, it does seem to be being respected. We drew this out before it was looking like we drew this out on the 12-hour. Now on the daily is beginning to look like a falling wedge too, but again, you could say this is a stretch, because look at this. I'm marking out the wicks over here. I'm marking out, I could say I'm marking out the wicks over here as well. If we do get a bounce over here and test the upper region at 10,070, it would look more like a falling wedge. But for now, it might be a little early to say so, right? And the bull case is that, hey, we have a falling wedge. We have a falling wedge within a larger falling wedge, right? If you do want to call this a falling wedge, of course, right? Something like this going on over to the bottom of this wedge and then breaking on over to the upside, perhaps having the momentum to go on up and further. That's the bull side of the scenario. Okay, cool. So if you guys have been following me though over the past even the few days, I've been looking for a few things to happen to confirm my bullish scenario, and that's on the higher time frames, and not only, and that's not the daily, guys. I know a lot of people think that the 4-hour is a high time frame and the daily is a very high time frame. The daily is more like a mid time frame. I'm looking at more like the 4-day and the weekly. Okay, but we're not going to start with that. We're actually going to start with the 4-day time frame, or the 2-day time frame, my bad, and then we're going to move on to the 4-day, and then we're going to talk about the weekly. Okay, here we have the 2-day, and I'm now going to present the bearish side of the equation. As you guys know, up until this weekend, I was still kind of leaning bullish, but I was looking for those signs on Bitcoin. I was looking for Bitcoin to do a few things before I take that bullish position again. Unfortunately, we did not have that, right? So what was I looking for? Well, I'm going to go ahead and turn on the Mango ribbon. By the way, guys, if you do not have access to the Mango ribbon, go ahead and shoot me a message on Telegram or join the Mango Telegram group. Again, the Mango ribbon is completely free for access. I will give you access. All right, that being said, what were we looking for? Well, we were simply looking for the 2-day to close over this major chunk on the Mango ribbon, right? The Tenkin, the 21 EMA and the 10 SMA. As long as the 2-day did that, we would have had the spillover effect on the higher time frames, the 4-day as well as the weekly. But as you can see, the 2-day failed to do that. The Tenkin holding us back right now. Well, it's been doing that for a while, right? Ever since over here, 2nd September, you could say all the way up to here, actually 17th August. Each time we came and hit the Tenkin, we were getting pushed back down. Tried at the Tenkin again, got pushed back down. Now again, this up thrust over here at all the way from 9,658 coming on to the 2-day Tenkin, getting pushed back down. As you can see, the 2-day Tenkin pressing price action down again. And because we failed to close above the Tenkin and the 21 EMA on over the weekend, on the 4-day, we also failed to get what we were looking for, right? We're looking for the 4-day, this candle over here, to pop over the 10 SMA, which would have given us a potential move all the way up to 11,157. But for now, we did not get that. And what's worse, guys, we also lost the 4-day 21 EMA, okay? And that was the silver lining for Bitcoin. That was the silver lining. And now this descending triangle is going to start playing out. And I think we are the only community right now who is looking at the descending triangle. Nobody else is talking about it. I'm not talking about the big descending triangle that everybody's looking at. I'm talking about the smaller descending triangle that I will show you guys in a bit on the daily time frame. Okay, so but for now, the 4-day is not looking good. The fact that we lost the 21 EMA, we are now underneath the 4-day Tenkin, the 4-day 10 SMA, the 4-day 21, and we've lost it for the second time. Bitcoin has not done something like this in a while, if never. Okay, the Kijun coming down at around 8,600, so that would be a potential target. Okay, but now that we've lost what we were looking for on the 4-day, which was, hey, we were looking for the 4-day to close over its 10 SMA, which was at the time coming in at around 10,200. We tried for that move, we got rejected, and now we're getting pushed down. This has had spillover effects on the weekly because we were looking for the 4-day price action, because if the 4-day closed over its 10 SMA, the weekly would have been likely won over as well, but nope, did not happen. The 10 SMA holding us down. But look at this, guys. Look how ugly this is looking. The Tenkin is now officially over Bitcoin's price action. Okay, the candle, Bitcoin's current candle, is living underneath the Tenkin. This is what prompted me earlier this morning to take my bearish position. Again, though, this is a starter position, because if you think about it, this week has not ended just yet. This could very well just be a trap and we end up popping over the 10 SMA and the Tenkin. I'd be looking to strengthen my position if I do see signs on next week's candle close or on the next days to come, like either the 2-day or the daily candle. I'll be looking to strengthen that position. There are signs, however, on the lower time frames. Okay, so for now, I do have a starter position looking for a move to the downside all the way up to 8,448 on the weekly, which will give everybody that CME gap filled, right? However, there is a very, very strong likelihood that we only come down to the 21 EMA, now coming in at around 9,353, right? So if you are looking for targets on Bitcoin, I'm going to go ahead and switch on over to a cleaner chart so I can go ahead and mark some targets for you guys. Do I have horizontals? Okay, I don't. Okay, so from here, my first target, where I'd be looking for at least a stutter step, right? Bitcoin should give us a stutter step over here, is the weekly 21 EMA coming in around 9,350-ish, somewhere around there. After that, I would be looking at the Kijun, and then perhaps lower targets, right? And we'll talk about that when the time comes. I don't want to talk about that just yet, but I could be looking at targets all the way down to, I don't want to talk about that just yet, okay? But for now, let's go ahead and talk about the lower time frames, the boosters for me, in terms of, hey, you know what? It may be time. It may be warranted to take a starter position over here, okay? So the first thing I'm looking at is the 2-day. Again, you guys know how much I love the 2-day. Ethereum and Bitcoin have given me some really good trades on the 2-day. I'm going to go ahead and turn on the Ichimoku, and what do you know, guys? The Tenkin pressing down on Bitcoin's price action. We do have the bearish TK cross. We are now officially inside the cloud, right? Okay, it's not a clean entry into the cloud, I have to admit, because as you can see, the 2-day did close above the cloud, the previous 2-day, but over here this was good enough for me because of what I'm going to show you guys next. So what am I looking at over here? We have a possible edge-to-edge trade that is playing out, and that's lining up perfectly with our Kijun on the weekly, right? 8,458. So I'm looking for a move something like this. Of course, it's not going to happen in a straight line. We could do something like this, right? It's going to take its time. Remember, it is a 2-day candle. So that's what I'm looking at on the 2-day. Now, Do I have anything that is lining up with this on the daily? Okay, so we started with a weekly giving us a bearish case, our Tenkin to our Kijun play, you could call it a C-span trade. Now we looked at the 2-day, which is giving us an edge to edge trade. Now I'm going to go on over to the daily, but first I'm going to clear out everything over here. I'm going to look at the daily, and over here now this is where a lot of people are missing what I am looking at over here. Let me go ahead and remove this, and I do see a descending triangle within this formation over here. Maybe some of you guys are seeing it, maybe you are not. I don't watch too many people on YouTube, but there is a descending triangle over here. From you could just mark it like this, actually, that we have broken down to the downside and even retested. It is oops, man, I can't draw straight lines today. As you guys can see, you can extend this line all the way up to here if you want to, but I'm not going to. I'm going to keep it right over there. As you can see, Bitcoin has been playing out this descending triangle, in my opinion. People have been calling the previous one a descending triangle, but in my opinion, this is the descending triangle right over here that has broken, and you got the retest right here. Are we going to see continuation? That is the key question. If we do start taking out this wick underneath 9,842, I would be expecting continuation. So this is what I'm looking for. If we even tick under 9,842, so look at around, if you're looking at Bitstamp, anything under 9,840, and I'll be looking for continuation all the way down to possibly 9,381, because that's where the weekly 21 EMA is coming at. Let's go ahead and look to see if the measured move for this descending triangle lines up with that. We can go ahead and do this. And the measured move, if you're being conservative, is around 9,511. If you want to be a little bit more aggressive with it, it still won't come all the way down to, let's go ahead and look at that. It still won't come all the way down to 9,300, but I do think, ooh, actually not bad. It's coming down to around 9,400-ish, which lines up with these guys over here. Now it depends on how you draw the triangle. If you're taking the wicks, if you're looking at this as possibly a symmetrical triangle, I don't know. But right now I'm looking at this as a descending triangle that would likely have continuation. If it does break down and have follow through, I'd be looking at the weekly 21 EMA. If we do break that as well, I'll then be looking for a move down to 8,400-ish. If we lose that too, hey, we'll talk about that when the time comes. But for now, this is what I'm looking at. Do you guys agree? Do you guys disagree? Leave a comment down below. But that's what I have for you guys today. Again, I'm going to do a quick recap on what we've talked about. I'm going to switch on over to back on over to a Coinbase chart. We do have this larger formation that Bitcoin has been playing out. The question is this the end of the formation? Are we going to be seeing this finally break on over to the downside or to the upside? If you're a bull, you may be looking at this as a falling wedge within this falling wedge or within the symmetrical triangle. Depends on how you're looking at it. If we do pop on up, if we start ticking about 10,100ish, I'll probably actually, I'm not sure. For me to switch bullish now, I'm going to be looking for Bitcoin to take over the 10,300 area. Okay, for me to switch on over to the bullish side, at least I need to see at least a 12-hour candle close over 10,300, preferably a daily candle close over 10,300. Until that happens, I am either going to be leaning bearish or I am going to be neutral. Okay, one of the two. There are easier trades to be had, much easier trades. As you guys know, I shorted the theme around 218. It's sitting now at 207, 208-ish. That was an easy trade, a very easy trade. I waited patiently, got the confirmation, and took the trade towards the downside, right? I even took the trade towards the upside on the test of the Kijun at 202. Those were easy trades. What I'm trying to say over here is you do not have to be in a position. You do not need to force a position. If it's not screaming at you, if it's not fitting a system, don't take it, guys. Don't feel pressure from the rest of the community to be in a position. Simply step back if you're not confident and wait for the easier trades. Because if you do lose, you're going to have less equity to take your next trade. Think about it that way, guys. Every dollar that you have is a soldier fighting for you. Don't just throw away your soldiers. All right, so that's what I have to say about Bitcoin. Right now, if you're not feeling confident on your trades, simply wait. the easier trade, in my opinion, is to wait for the break of 9,422, this zone over here that I've been marking, right? If you guys do remember from my videos all through like the weeks now, I'm not going to be switching bearish until we break this zone. The only reason I have switched bearish right now is because I'm following one of the indicators that I've been following very religiously, and you guys know the Ichimoku is a big thing for me, and we have lost the Tenkin on the weekly, and now this could very well be temporarily, right? Because the week just started. We could just pop over this and things may change. This could change so fast. We've seen Bitcoin do crazier things, and I am okay with that because I've taken so many profits off this trade. Remember, I took this trade mainly off the monthly chart, guys. Off the monthly, the big moves are on the higher time frames. I started my trade over here on the monthly, if you guys have been following me on Mango for a while, then moved on to the weekly, then to the daily, then to the lower time frames. Everybody else does it the opposite. They start with the lower time frames and then they build their position on the higher time frames. I don't think that's the way to do it. Again, that's just me. Now again, I'm starting on the weekly. I could be wrong about this, and I'll switch if I see the signs, but for now, this is what I'm looking at. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I will see you guys in the next one. I'll probably do an Ethereum update video because I'm still in my Ethereum short position. It's looking good thus far, hoping to see continuation, and hey, perhaps Bitcoin will give Ethereum that push towards the downside. That being said, throw a like, throw a subscribe, leave a comment down below on what your thoughts are. Are we going up? Are we going down? Remember guys, I am still long-term bullish on Bitcoin. This is honestly just an opportunity for me to position myself for a much larger move towards the upside. I also will be buying spot Bitcoin if this does go down. I'll see you guys soon in the next video. Bye.